All right. Hello, everyone. Warm welcome to all at MESC Red Devils NCR. We are live, and I have Ojas Bhai with me on the stream. Ojas Bhai, warm welcome. Hope you're doing well. Uh, I think we both, as this at of this point, know that the equation is pretty simple. 1 point is all it takes to go back into the Champions League. And while we shouldn't be looking for 1 point in particular, three would be much better because it also helps us finish in third place or maybe get to third place temporarily, with Newcastle doing everything they can to make sure that uh, they have to do things based on certain results, so on and so forth, and which enables us to uh, play as per our requirements, maybe play a relaxed 11 at the final day of the season, so on and so forth. So in that perspective, things become things. 3 points in this game is important for us. So entering this game, what are your thoughts as far as the Chelsea game is concerned? Keeping in mind that Chelsea have only won one out of their last 5 games in the Premier League.
Yeah, I don't think so. Chelsea are in that in the particular form that they want to be. They are a side that are struggling a lot because of the season that they have went through. But in past couple of games, I think they played City last time. I don't remember clearly, but I saw players just connecting towards the end of the season where they have nothing to lose, and we have everything online. Although it's 1 point, but it can turn into a headache when we are not playing with the right flow. So it's particularly important that as a team we put our best performance, one of the best performances against a good side, not that strong, but a pretty good side which can turn up on its day. And we should be very, eager to get the 3 points. We should go for the goals. We should win in a type of situation where we are ultimately leading to an FA Cup final, and we need this momentum. We have to play that every game we have to win. That is how you will create the mentality and the momentum for the final, which is against one of the best teams in the world.
Yeah, understandable. And you spoke about Chelsea playing City, but at that point, Chelsea had already wrapped up the league, courtesy of Arsenal losing to Nottingham Forest. And like Pep said, that they had already drank all the alcohol in Manchester, so that could be perhaps the reason why they only won by a single goal. But yeah, a lot of people in the chat already. Laksh and I are welcome to the stream. Laksh says that Chelsea is going to play tonight like prime Barcelona. For some reason, I do have the same feeling as well. And there is always this one game throughout at the end of the season where the opponents just turn up for some or the other reason, which is way beyond my comprehension or
Crystal
my
Palace
understanding.
last season. Crystal
But
Palace last season.
Crystal Palace last season. Then it was Southampton the season before that. In 2021, or no, it was in 1920, where it was where Brandon Williams had got that concussion injury, and we conceded by virtually that last kick of the game, where it was 2-1 to us, and we ended up drawing that game 2-2. It was Fulham in 2021-22. And yeah, so like we always have this one team who suddenly comes out of nowhere and just puts a dampener on our hopes and expectations. I hope that's not the case tonight, where we hope that United play well and come up with all the 3 points when it is required. Kushagra says that as per the league lineups, no Rashford once again, which is becoming a little bit of a concern if we isolate the incident properly. Saimbai says Martial brace incoming. I hope that is true. I hope Martial does turn up, maybe or maybe not. Bruno needs to rest today. Yeah,
I
Naman. Bruno needs to step up today. Yes, he has to. Apparently, yes. So, Otis, let us talk about the Rashford situation. I think it's been. I think I read an article in the Athletic that has already declared him the player of the season, or maybe given the reasons as to why Rashford should be player of the season. But I do you think these injury issues that he's had in the past few game weeks, he's either come off the bench or has not played any sort of minutes altogether. Do you think that this is a precaution, keeping in mind that we have to play the FA Cup final, but at the same time, it is a bit of a risk considering we still don't have the top four secured mathematically? What are your thoughts on this particular issue? What are your thoughts on this particular scenario as far as Rashford is concerned?
Yeah, I would like to bring up an example that how Liverpool eventually won the title with the competition against City. They had their front three always available throughout the season. I never saw Mane or Salah being out of the games for so long. And when Rashford gets injured, although I am very happy that Garnacho has stepped up, but Garnacho was also injured for a month. Now Rashford has had to play every game. Now Rashford is not available. If you don't have the power, I should say the tools to compete in a long run, then you are always going to have average seasons. I'm not blaming entirely on this, but look at Arsenal after Saliba injury, and suddenly they are pretty much exposed, although they have been very bad past couple of game weeks. But you always miss your best players in the team until and unless you're Manchester City, who have like two options for every position. But if you are a team that is not having the enough backups like us, because we didn't do the required signings in the summer, and I think if your team players get injured at these moments, then you lose the way in the season, and this is what has happened. I believe throughout the season, if a fit Marshall was there even for 75% of the games, I guess we would have been in a much better position. We are not in a bad position, but definitely you want to see United ahead in every cup final. And one of the reasons that we are not in Europa also anymore, and one of the reasons that I believe that when we were, I am not saying we were in the title race, but we were pretty much there competing with the likes of City and Arsenal. And when these injuries happen, you just lose the way in the long run.
Ojit bhai, let's make that clear. We weren't in the title race at all. uh, we have Antariksh with us on the stream. Antariksh, I see you've either decided to pay homage to me or Martial. I don't understand who exactly, but let's just say that it is 2 minute Martial in this instance. All right.
Yeah.
So Antariksh, I was talking to Ojit bhai about the current situation that United find themselves in. The equation is very simple. 1 point is all it takes. But considering the fact that it could be a tricky proposition against Fulham, even though it's a home game, 3 points would mean basically 3 points would basically seal the deal for us and also take us to third place entering that final game of the season. Considering that Newcastle drew their game, which does at this point make us masters of our own destiny as far as third place is concerned. So, what are your thoughts on the game? And so, I genuinely believe that today is that game where Chelsea suddenly Chelsea suddenly remember how to play football exactly. Is what I'm feeling for some reason or the other. What are your thoughts entering into the Chelsea game?
Um, मतलब on one side I do have the fear कि Chelsea would suddenly realize कि अरे भाई हमारे पास तो इतने सारे player हैं and अच्छा खेलता है थोड़ा. So that, but on the other side I'm also like Delvin भाई बोला ना, like top three I've been saying like top three आना है because चढ़ाओ जितना न्यूकासल को चढ़ाना है नहीं है करेगी हमसे ऊपर finish. But अभी रुको. So like that's why that is one side. But yeah, man, top four is done. वो तो हो गया है. This is like a cherry on top of the cake वाला conversation. So top four is touch wood 199% done. And yeah, so आज देखते हैं. It's just gonna be a bonus game. Like, देखो मजे उठाओ. And but again, 3 points अगर आ जाए, what better than that? So man, yeah, chill vibe है अभी तो.
It also gives us a chance to, perhaps give the likes of Jones a final farewell at Old Trafford in the Fulham game, because there is no pressure. Because there is no pressure to play in the final game, provided if we win and seal top four tonight itself. It gives us an opportunity to give him the farewell he deserves. Because I still remember he said that the only people who turn up at his testimonial would be his family. So that's a pretty poor thing to imagine. So I would love to get him a farewell, provided he is fit and he does play in a certain capacity. But so now that we've seen Chelsea have only one win in the last 5 games, and if we take the last 10 games also, I think it's going to be a single win that they had against Bournemouth. But do you think that they're going to come at us hard? Because I think even Chelsea will be looking to offload a lot of players in the summer, just like us,
Yeah.
for entirely different reasons. So, Ojasbhai, do you believe that for many of these Chelsea players, it's going to be an audition to keep their places? I mean, the likes of it's already confirmed that the likes of Aspilicueta is leaving the club at the end of the season. Hakim Ziyech
Mount
is,
has also submitted his
yeah,
request.
for
Mount has
some
also submitted.
yeah, for some reason we are interested in him. I heaven knows why. But yeah, apparently,
No,
and
no, you
he's
don't fancy him?
no, I don't.
Yes.
I don't. I don't.
Literally.
I spoke in the video. I mean, I think it's time that we move away from moments players. As far as I've
He,
seen Mason Mount play,
yes.
Mason Mount is the perfect definition of a moments players. Where when he scores, he scores in that entire flurry. But when his fortunes or the team's fortunes go in a downward spiral, it's a direct relationship. When the team is going good, he is doing good. When the team is doing bad, he automatically becomes bad. And when he
40
becomes
million में no 30
No,
40
no, no,
million.
not
he
at
is a
any
good player,
price,
but not
not
the
at any
solution of a
price,
midfield. He is a
not at
good player,
any
but not
price.
the solution.
We need a proper ball carrier. We do not need someone who floats across the entire pitch,
हाँ, like उसका
which is
position क्या होगा हमारे लिए? That's the thing.
precisely. Apparently, Ten Hag wants to play him alongside Casemiro as an eight, as a
Yeah,
free moving eight.
and Bruno wants to he wants to shift Bruno to a deeper role. He wants Mount to just pressurize upwards, and
Okay.
somehow this doesn't work in a way that we are looking as fans. But if Eric Ten Hag is showing an interest, he has a plan. As fans, we have all the right to say that we don't appreciate a player. I'm not a fan of Mount, but I guess there's a plan or there is a thinking that even in this window, the targets that we eventually want won't go through because the sale is already delayed.
So I believe that we'll get at least two of the targets who we actually want, is what I feel, and then
Yep.
the rest of them will be good players, but not exactly required at
Yeah.
that particular time. It will
And
Yeah,
be
why
the
don't
right.
we
United,
do stuff like अभी Rabiot is like coming to an end. करो
no,
खत्म अभी
Rabio
sign
will be
him.
Rabio will be a smart signing. I will tell you why. Because we need a type of midfielder like Rabio, and if we get him for free,
बिल्कुल
that is very
बिल्कुल. So like
important.
sign him, no, like clubs do.
Ye-
6 महीने
it's
पहले just sign him.
it's not that easy because he's trying to play hardball that Juventus is still trying to contact me, so I may need a more lucrative offer from
It's
Manchester
not.
United.
Let's be honest. Juventus is
हाँ.
not, especially after that 10 point deduction. I don't think they're going to give him a contract extension
It's a
because
mind game. It's a mind game. It will
Everything
go
is
till
difficult with us, यार. You know, I remember अभी कोई
it's
हमने signing किया था. We like here we go came 1 month after. I think it was Ericsson और जिसका medical ही नहीं हो जा रहा था. Like उसका insurance
हाँ,
claim
it
check
was
कर
it
रहा
was
था
at the
हमने.
correction. I think his medical half the time was to just check whether his pacemaker is working fine or no. I think that was his medical. उसके 4-5 medical हुए होंगे. But coming back to Chelsea, I mean, we all of them know that Chelsea do have a collection of very good players in their side. Like let's put their haphazard transfer strategy on one side. Just ignore that. The profile and the quality of players they have, and the players that will come in the summer, that makes Chelsea automatically a tantalizing prospect. And the fact that they will be playing only one game a week the entire season next year gives them that much of leeway to make sure that this team gels into a cohesive unit. They might be trouble in the future. So how important it is for Chelsea to win this game, just to kickstart that process right now itself. Ojas bhai, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think that Chelsea will approach this game like it is a sort of preseason for them, but with a lot of intensity than it is in a preseason game?
Yeah, they have got some points to prove. That's for sure. But it's my thought that when you have built a super team, I am not sure what the owner is thinking, but he has signed some players that he wants a type of manager who develops those players into a team that is world threatening, not something domestically. The owner is building the team so that the Chelsea challenges for the Champions League and Premier League together. And with full respect to Pochettino, they have hired him, na? It's
Yeah, yeah,
confirmed, right?
It's
yeah.
as good
Yeah.
as done. It's
Here
as
we
good
have
as
it. Yeah,
done.
I
Is it
guess
done?
with
Is the Here
yeah.
We Go
Here we
yeah,
go.
done?
Here we go.
yeah, I think I
Yeah.
saw a t-shirt. I am holding a
It's
t-shirt of
like
Chelsea. I
five
don't know.
six. नहीं 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 वो तो edited है उसका but 5-6 days ago here we go is done. Yeah, yeah,
I have not seen
Okay.
it at all. Surprising.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But if somehow I believe that it's an audition, I don't think so that Chelsea are completely error free. There will be moments in the game where Chelsea would look like relegated Southampton, with full respect to them, and we have to just take that moments and accept that Chelsea have good players, but being Manchester United sitting fourth in the table, just somehow I believe that it's a type of game that, although we respect Chelsea, and Chelsea and Manchester United is Premier League heritage for me. These clashes are Premier League heritage, but on the broader sense, this is the type of game that Manchester United, like throughout the season, I keep saying, you expect us to win.
So you said United Chelsea being Premier League heritage. Yes, it is. But in the past few years, it has been Premier League heritage for all the wrong reasons. Uh, 2021, both Premier League games draw. 21-22, again, both Premier League games have been draws. 22-23, the first game also was a draw.
Mourinho
So
heritage.
so United and Chelsea actually have the record for being the fixture with the most draws in Premier League history. Just so we know.
Oh,
So yeah, and considering the situation that we are in, draw is not exactly a good, not exactly a bad result. Considering, irrespective of whether it's a win or a draw, we seal Champions League tonight. But I think it needs to end. I think something has to give to make sure that we finally win. Because all of those draws, I think we were the better side and we should have won at least 3 out of the 5 games from there.
yeah, yeah.
So, and I think, yeah, the last time we won, Frank Lampard was in charge of both the games. So hopefully that comes to an end and we hopefully get to win. So what do you make of the lineup? And as for the league lineup, again, it's Rashford who's not starting. And once again, it comes down to how important it is that we score that early goal. We did that against Bournemouth. I think we did that against Wolves, scoring it in the first half, scoring a goal in the first half. So how important it is to make sure that we seal the game within the first half itself and to not give Chelsea a sniff. Now, Bournemouth and Wolves are pretty forgiving from the quality of attack that they have. But Chelsea, despite their haphazard collection, have players who can hurt us. So how important it is to not give a side like Chelsea a sniff, irrespective of their position on the league table. Antrish.
Oh, absolutely. Matlab, and these sort of games could be, a very matlab, unexpected वाला है. Lampard रो हो रहा है ड्रेसिंग रूम में, here we go हो चुका है, तो boys कुछ तो शर्म करो type, and he gives, Conor Gallagher gives like the performance of his life, and Noni Madueke ekdam, curling Anthony type ekdam. So like things like unpredictable हो जाती है when there's nothing to play for. It sort of becomes interesting, to be honest, because कुछ नहीं होता है, you just go out and play and you see some moments. यही जैसे वो Gerrard 7-0 आगे पीछे, उसका, तो these things happen last में. So yeah, man. But I उसी चीज में I don't want to judge us a lot, but if we can produce disciplined performances ऐसे games में, then it sort of shows कि manager की चीज बोलती है. Like Pep could make 6 changes. He brings in B team, B में भी juniors of City. They still are disciplined in the way they recycle the ball. They move the ball around. तो ठीक है, इतना effective नहीं होता. Shots Chelsea के ज्यादा थे. There was a lack of cohesion जो एक typical City side में होता है. But still they won the game and they were like ठीक है. They were like looking still a City side, B grade ही सही, but yeah, a City side. So अगर यहाँ पर अगर हम थोड़ा discipline दिखाते हैं, maybe we could draw the game. But if we'd still see patterns of possession, yeah, okay, hamari purani problem of not scoring but still making chances, then it'll be good rather than us trying to sit back 0-0 karne ke chakkar mein, thinking they don't have much, making it a boring game. Then yeah, to wo hai, yeah.
And understandable also. Prakash Mandal, web the stream, he says need a win at any cost. I mean, I understand the point of getting a win, but at any cost would be a stretch because I think we are in a situation where a draw would be enough. And I think that goal difference also is not exactly a huge problem now. Liverpool's goal difference currently is plus 17, if I'm not mistaken, and United's goal difference is plus 14, courtesy of all the clean sheets that we've kept in the past 2-3 games. Uh, no, it's a lot. Sorry, I got it wrong.
वही
Yeah,
सोच रहा हूँ.
that's what I'm saying. I seen somewhere it was plus 14. Now I'm seeing it's plus 28. I'm like, okay. Yeah, I think we do need
Two seven
the.
nils.
Nah, that's not happening. No. That's a little too much. Coming to a United perspective, Ojas Bhai and Antriksh, there will be a lot of changes. Ten Hag has hinted so. News coming out from the United camp also is that there is a halt as far as De Gea's extension is concerned because Ten Hag is yet to give his final approval. And he's also given a very subtle hint as to there might be some players who will not be in the side next season also.
Yeah.
So for those players, whomsoever it may concern, do you think that this is probably the last chance for them to play for their futures at the club? And do you think that that could have a positive bearing on our performances? Ojis bhai, I'll start with you, and then I'll come to you with the same question, Antriksh.
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure of this, but the news that really is coming out from the inside of Manchester United is that the hire deal is done, almost done, and the deal that the United are currently working on is Delo. Everyone knows that. What actually is happening that Eric Ten Hag has throughout the last phase of the season informed some kind of players to either step up or be ready to leave the club in the upcoming window. So a lot of players have already decided, I guess, that they are not going to be part of this Manchester United side, and there will be a situation where we will see a complete overhaul of players happening in the game, where we will see all kind of tricks coming into play. I'm expecting a disciplined performance, but I'm expecting a type of performance where you will see that which type of player is not fitting into the system eventually after the first season of Eric Ten Hag. And if I completely get on point with you, if you guys are saying that David De Gea deal is halted, so I'm pretty sure that Eric Ten Hag would always create a situation with the whoever is in the management that I don't see De Gea as a keeper. Now I want you to scout me. I want you to bring these kind of reports of a goalkeeper. So I should know whether we have to pursue this or not. So it's kind of here and there, but I guess sooner or later we will get a clear picture.
By don't see as a keeper, you mean don't see him as United's keeper, right? And not exactly don't see him as a keeper, because the way you said it felt it felt like a proper diss. So, Antarish, before I get to your opinions, United's lineup is out. It's the same lineup as the Bournemouth game. No changes there. So, which means we are going to see Garnacho as a substitute. It's pretty much the same 3 minute Martial up top. Then it's Sancho, Anthony, Bruno, Casemiro, Eriksen, Aaron, Lindelof. No, Varane, Shaw, Lindelof. Yeah, that's right. And De Gea and goal, obviously. So, what are your thoughts on the lineup? Do you think it's a right call playing the same lineup, or do you think it could have, a few changes could have been made?
I mean, just checking up. Yeah, no, there's no Phil Jones. I was looking for Phil Jones on the bench, but yeah, no, he's nowhere near that. But man, yeah, I mean, it's cool. Maybe Alejandro Garnacho, but why risk it? Like, why risk it? Let's let's keep him for that exciting role post 60 minutes. So that I think could be his role. But I mean it's fine. It's as long as that's what I'm saying. As long as we play the situation cool, I think we have more than enough of the lineup to go with. And I just checked Chelsea's as well. They're playing their normal side as well. So yeah, again, as we just discussed, or rather, how Ojas by and you were like talking about a keeper. So I just saw the post. I didn't really follow him as much, but I did saw the post and then checked it out. So yeah, that guy, Mate Kovar, like he's been around for a while and he's a champion apparently now. So
In the
he's a
Czech,
league.
in the Czech league, yeah.
Yeah, like why not? Like why not bring him up for number two next season? Like number two, like
Which league, Delvin bhai? Sorry, which league?
Czech
Czech,
league.
Czech, the Czech league,
Okay.
Czech Republic.
Yeah, I mean, you get the likes of Livakovic from there, and we've seen like what the guy.
Livakovic is Croatian. There's a difference.
Sorry, bhai.
I get the confusion. Eastern European countries almost
Yeah, yeah.
similar features. So I won't blame you for that. But I think it's a little too early as far as Matish Kovar is concerned.
I
Because
think we've seen these guys around the block for a lot, and to be for him, I don't know if he was the first keeper there. I don't see any harm. Like he's won the league. It's not he's performed. Like if he's in a winning team in I guess one of the top, I don't know, 10, 12 leagues be agar. So I would say keep him in the circuit for some reason because with people like us, like I think Dean Henderson has been a victim of just us. Like Dean Henderson, I don't know why was there a sudden flurry of Dean Henderson to Neuer hai, and then why is there such a flurry of Dean Henderson ko to keeping 10 दिन पहले शुरू किया है. Like once we wanted him to replace De Gea at all, now we don't want him near the club at all. While he has given out interviews,
part of it has to do with the way he's conducted himself too. I mean, yes, see, don't get me wrong. I was in favor initially of Dean Henderson getting sufficient game time under Ten Hag. But
uh,
one of the biggest problems is him not speaking to the new manager itself. I mean,
but because we've fucked around with players a lot. Olive को
doesn't
रख रहा है बोल के.
doesn't
Olive
matter. Doesn't matter. It's a new manager. It's a new start. If
it's not yaar. It's
it
not
is
for a keeper.
what has see,
It's not
let's
for a keeper who's been waiting इतने साल से and he's like choked and professional. Then he said कि मैं तेरे को time दूंगा तू यहीं बैठ. When he's been doing
imagine.
good with like smaller clubs. And then
Andrich,
he's
it
like,
took
okay,
it
good.
took two
Like
games.
that.
It
Yeah.
it took a matter of only 2 games for Harry Maguire to be dropped from the Premier League side, in spite of him being the captain. And imagine in those 2 games, I am pretty sure after the 2 games that we had in the opening exchanges of the season, I would write and give you that had Henderson been there, he would also have started the Liverpool game. I am dead certain about that. There is you cannot make two bones of the fact that had Henderson been there, he would have been given a fair chance as the starting number one. And keep in mind that we were part of 4 competitions right up until April. Right up until April. Enough playing opportunities there as well.
See,
You
of
have
course, but
you have
but
your problems with the side. Fair enough, understood. Get them out, clear the air. There is a reason why conversations are held. There is the reason why negotiations are there for. You speak, you understand where the new manager is coming from, what he expects of you, and what he wants to do with you. You just cannot give him the cold shoulder thinking that the previous manager had done this with me, so I'm pretty sure that the new manager is going to do the same with me.
yeah, see, I am trying to be understanding because I have seen a couple of his interviews and मेरे को to be honest वो keeper ठीक लगता है. Like I don't find him
No,
very good.
Antriksh bhai, see. Henderson came with the mindset that I performed well enough in past couple of seasons to be number one for Manchester United. And he went to Eric Ten Hag saying that I deserve this spot. I'm
No,
not
he
saying
did.
that
He did not have any conversation with Ten Hag. He left before Ten Hag came in.
no,
No
but
conversations
he
with Ten Hag.
wanted Manchester United to assume, he wanted Manchester United to think that he's ready to be number one, which manager being I don't know, being the right person here, he says that I have to give opportunity to everyone in my first season. I don't know what will happen throughout the season. I have to give opportunity. And if Henderson truly believed that he deserved that position, just on one instant cutting his ego, he should have talked to the manager if he
No
hasn't done, which
man.
Delvin is saying.
We are
And
no. हम लोग बहुत आसानी से we use the word ego यार. Like he's been waiting there, and
See,
it's
it's
that's why it's not like कि उसको पता था. He was told by Solskjaer to इधर बैठ. Next season I'm gonna back you. And as much as I agree with Delvin bhai, I don't think he would have been replaced because a new manager comes in, he puts his faith in a keeper. वो टट्टी भी करेगा पहले दो games में, he won't be replaced in the third game. Even if he goes and scores the opposing goal with a hand and says I'm not a keeper, he won't be, because एक नया मैनेजर आता है with the trust कि तेरे को 10 games तो मैं दूंगा, and the keeper being Daya, he wouldn't have been. Yes, your point is right कि वो 4 competitions में, but he wouldn't have known that. तो I think हम लोग ये ego वाला word बहुत आसानी से बोल रहे हैं
no,
see,
because
I've
I'm
seen
not.
Onana be dropped. I've seen Onana being dropped. One of the
of course.
best keepers at that time. I've seen it's not something sure. You cannot be sure of Eric Ten Hag. He has started Luke Shaw over Maguire at centre back position. You just have to believe that the manager will. There will be one moment, or there will be a couple of moments, and just have to grab them. I know injustice has happened, but surely, being Manchester United number one is definitely not for weak-hearted.
This
For
is
sure.
this
ये
is the
तो है.
same Ten Hag who's dropped Ronaldo also, who's dropped Anthony, who's dropped Lisandro Martinez in spite of him being a World Cup winner. So
I I
the
just think वो
manager,
पहले 2 games में नहीं हटाता वो डहेया को.
he did
That's
it
what
to
I think.
Maguire. He did to Maguire.
No,
Maguire was the club captain.
no, but not just the 2 games. मतलब उसके बाद उसको
सिटी के
stint मिल.
6-3 के बाद हटा देता. सिटी के
वही
6-3 के
that's
बाद
where I
हटा.
believe कि throughout the season I am dead sure कि उसको कहीं ना कहीं sniff मिलता for sure had he stayed. But वही है, like I won't blame him. I'm just upset that he went, but I won't blame him because like that's another season. Like he was a hot prospect when he was coming out of Sheffield United, and he seemed that confident, and like everyone was crying out for the traits that he had, which was demanding, getting the ball, vocal, and whatever मतलब जो डहेया का नहीं रहता है.
There
Plus,
were
Dahya has also deteriorated in
even
terms of goal
even
saving.
yes, no, agree. Even in the games that he did play for us, after the season he came back from Sheffield, there were glaring mistakes.
Huh.
There were
I agree.
mistakes. Yeah. So what I think is, I didn't think he did enough with Nottingham Forest also before getting injured, and the fact that they bought in Keylor Navas means that you can it is open to your interpretation, but I
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah, I think if Forest are indeed willing to play ball as far as Henderson is concerned, we should be charging nothing less than 30 to 35 million, nothing less
Absolutely.
than that, nothing less than that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One point. Sorry, I'm sorry. I will just say one point to this. There was a time that Buffon was almost in a stage that he wanted to leave Juventus, and they had Szczesny. They had signed Szczesny, who was not that great of a keeper with Arsenal. Even Ramsdale that we have saw that has come. You just because you are the second option doesn't give you an excuse to be, I should say, below par. When you get the
Hmm.
opportunity, you have to be the person that plays his best game. Irrespective of the result that happens in the game,
Hmm.
you particularly taking the opportunity has to play the best game. And
Yeah.
somehow, in my belief, that I didn't see Dean Henderson playing his best games when he get the opportunity. I saw Romero putting a world class
Yeah.
season with Mourinho. I
Hmm.
saw Romero just
That guy
taking
had
every
that guy went
opportunity.
an entire season keeping clean sheets in all the cup
Hmm.
games that he played. In almost
Yeah.
all the cup games that he played.
Yes, Buffon was injured for 15 games, I still remember, and Szczesny stepped up and he proved to Juventus, yes, this I know Buffon is not going to be there forever, but you can trust me. And I never believed in my life that Szczesny will be a starter for Juventus, and he proved he proved us wrong.
He
He
still
is a
is.
good,
He still
yeah,
is.
he is a good keeper because now this is the kind of attitude that I wanted, that
Hmm.
irrespective of the result or whatever the team performs, I will play my best, I will give my best, which I didn't see
Hmm.
Dean Henderson doing.
My guy
Sorry.
is gone. My guy has gone from becoming an understudy to Buffon to throwing gang signs behind Paul Pogba. Look at the transition that he's had in Juventus. It's absolutely hilarious, but good for him. And yeah, it is because partly due to
Hmm.
Henderson's cold shoulder that we are looking for a keeper.
Yeah.
whereas the issue could have been internally solved last last year itself during preseason. That is it's again it comes down to ifs, buts, and maybes. But then it is what it is. We have to look forward, and I think Luke Shaw has also come out with a small interview and making the right noises as far as starting next season is concerned. He believes that in irrespective of what happens, irrespective of the signings, whether or not, we have to enter that season with the ambitions of winning the league. And I have never agreed with him more. I think we've gone down into this funk for the past 3-4 years that a top four spot is enough for us, whereas it shouldn't be. Our mentality has reduced, bar a few players. Let me get this straight. So, how important is this Shaw's message, especially at this stage of the season? Do you believe that what Shaw says, while it also speaks on how highly he's grown as a player, he's also becoming, you can see that he's becoming more vocal, he's becoming a voice in the dressing room. How important it is for the entire team to take these messages properly and not just on face value, because there is a much deeper meaning to what Shaw is saying, and I hope the players are not pig-headed to not understand it. So what are your thoughts on that Shaw message which has come out? Antariksh, I'll start with you.
While I agree with you कि for sure मतलब for sure for sure it's a good message to be putting out at a very interesting time wherein while he could be decently satisfied with what from where we've gone in, but he's like, let's not forget the original motive. हाँ, जैसे आपने कहा कि पिछले 3-4 साल से we've been in this circle, top four, then नीचे, then top four, then नीचे, then top four. So now finally it has to come to an end, and we should seriously start challenging. But by the last 3-4 years have an example कि ये बातें सबने करी. Rashford comes out with this full philanthropy style का speech कि no, we should be challenging. And I mean, Jesse Lingard भी आके ही बोलता था, it's Man United. It should be. तो I mean, सीधी भाषा में I'd like to say, भाई, if we get the window, a lot of things are easier for us. If we don't, yet again, like सीधी बात है, we get a striker, we get a Casemiro understudy, we get another midfielder, and then we get somewhere जो right back चाहिए या you maybe keeper or something like that. We get these 3-4 signings in. Ten Hag को सब मिल गया, now it's up to Ten Hag and the players, and then we can judge the attitude. नहीं किया हमने, then it'll again be Casemiro has to perform, at a level that is way beyond his age. Rashford has to do another multi-score season, or whoever comes in Bruno has to carry it. It'll be again, and that doesn't really win you titles, yeah. They'll again keep us in the hunt till June, or पुराने मतलब start. I mean November. And then we'll be like, yeah, third, and then third, second, third, fourth, आगे पीछे. So wait, main thing is sale से window से players से फिर आगे, man.
I think this window will be the biggest test for us, because we have to do something which we have been historically shit at, and that is selling players at good prices. Thankfully for us, this season we do have some players who we can sell at decent prices for once. We have players who we can cash in, the likes of Dean, the likes of Maguire, and with a heavy heart, I do say Aaron Wan-Bissaka also, because very heavy heart, very heavy heart. Because yeah, man, like if push comes to shove, I don't see Ten Hag getting rid of Dalot. I don't see him getting rid of Dalot.
He's
And
almost agreed a
Dallo is
contract as per
preference.
Romano.
ETH
It's
preference
always
is
done.
Dallo.
yeah, and they are looking to extend Dalot's contract too. And both are at such point in their ages, football ages as well as their ages, that both of them will not prefer to be the understudy at this point. So the only option that we have is either transition Aaron Wan-Bissaka from one position to another, or just sell him to another club. Now, if
Yeah,
you
that's
are,
what should be.
I am still in favor of transitioning Wan-Bissaka to a centre back. I've made my opinions very clear on this stream multiple number of times, but I understand the reality. I understand the realism, and if he is shown the door, I a piece of my heart will be gone. Definitely will. But it is what it is.
I mean, it certainly depends on ये पिंग पोंग टिंग टोंग ये वो बाय लेवरक्यूजन वाला मिल गया अगर हमें 20-25 मिलियन तक, so I think there's no way we're keeping him.
it's you sounded
Frimpong.
you sounded so bro. I thought you're speaking about Kim Min Jae. Thank God Ojas Bhai gave me clarification that it is Jeremy Frimpong. Goodness gracious me. Bruh.
No, man.
It's not that easy to deal with I don't know how to buy. It's not easy to deal with that club.
You know,
But
if we had to make a signing from Leverkusen, I would rather prefer it to be Florian Wirtz and not Jeremy
Florian
Frimpong.
yeah, you're talking about a star kid. They will never sell the star kid.
They
will
did sell
never sell
Havertz. They sold Havertz, who was their
No,
star boy.
Oh,
yes.
so,
Yeah, of course, I agree on that they sold Havertz, but
They sold, yeah,
only
they sold
only
Son.
plays.
They sold Son was
Son-
their star
Son-
boy.
मतलब
I don't think so. They will
Son
sell him.
has been one
They have
of
signed
Son.
Grimaldo for free, I think. So they've signed Grimaldo for free, and they're
Son
trying to
had
build
been
a team.
Son had been Bayer Leverkusen's best performer for years, and yet they've sold him without any hesitation. They did
फायर
not
में वो था ना,
flinch.
चालानोलू भी था ना शायद.
Yes, Chalanolu, Son, then
Bailey is
Bellarabi,
also from there.
Leon
Bailey is
Bailey.
from
Bellarabi,
there.
yeah.
And
Leon Bailey.
they are looking to cash into Diaby. They are looking
Yeah.
for a
They
100
have
million bid.
they have a lot of players who you could cash on. Edmond Tapsoba is one, their centre back.
Tapsoba. And they have
Tapsoba, then there
another
is
centre back, Jonathan.
Jonathan Ta. Then there is Florian Wirtz. Then there is Diaby. There are
I
a lot
don't
of.
believe they're selling words. They are not selling words.
I would go for
I-
him if it
Frimpong
was.
ले लो यार. No.
Yeah, the
This guy is
Frimpong will suit to Inter Milan more in the 5 at the back.
They have Dumfries. They have Dumfries.
अब हम तो हमें डम्फ्रीज चाहिए. तो what do we want?
Dumfries is horror. Please.
Dumfries plays for the opposition.
He's proper for Inter system. He will shit bricks in a United side for sure. He's not it.
Frimpong
You
is
need a
also
more
the same
developed
ilk.
right back. You need see there's a player for Napoli. He's pretty good, and I've seen him Di Lorenzo. And he's
Napoli's
29.
not-
He's 29. He's
Napoli is
29.
not
We're
selling
buying.
anyone. Napoli is not
We're
selling
not
anyone
buying.
if
We're not
they
buying.
if
I'm just
if
saying. I'm just the kind of player. I'm just saying
Yeah.
the kind of player that
उनका
you
कोच
are
गया
looking
भाई.
for, correct?
कोच गया
ha
उनका.
Spalletti is gone. He's
The
taken a
coach has
sabbatical.
resigned. No, the
Sabbatical,
coach
taken
has
a-
resigned also for one of the reasons that he believes that club is looking to sell some of the good players.
Of course
He
they
is
will.
of the bill.
Of course they will.
मतलब
You
sort of
think
Conte वाला scene.
you and also it was due to there has been a lot of issues between the owner and the fans also because of the ticket prices. Napoli fans have been staunch opponents of the increase in the price. So Napoli's price of tickets is the most expensive in the Serie A, in a league that contains Juventus and the Milan clubs. And their stadium is a creaking mess.
This happened
Uh,
with West Ham also.
Yeah, their stadium is a creaking mess. They have urine and shit coming out of their toilets. It's practically unsafe. It's practically unsafe, and yet they're charging 110 euros for a ticket, which is expensive by a vast distance. It was the Milan clubs first, but they relented because of fan protests, and they have reduced their ticket prices, but Napoli haven't. And that is the reason why there was no noise in quite a few home games of Napoli, despite being leading, because it was
How
some
much
sort of
is
side
United? How much is United?
more. I think it is somewhere around 190 to. I think Mojo Sir has a better idea because Mojo Sir is a season ticket holder. So I think I think he knows it. I'm not sure. By my guess, I think it's anywhere between 190 to 200 pounds, if I'm not mistaken. So that's a lot. That is a shit ton of money for
Yeah,
a
it was a
season.
lot of money.
Yeah.
Does
So
do the tickets vary in terms of games? मतलब जैसे ये गेम है इसकी सस्ती होगी और सिटी वाले गेम की महंगी
no,
होगी ऐसा सब?
season ticket considers all 19 games of
No,
the
no,
home
not
season.
season like जो बची हुई होती है.
Yes.
Depends on which stand you're taking for. It depends on
No,
the
no,
stand
even the
that you want
match
to.
depends. It depends on
No,
the
I'm
match
saying like
also.
if you take the
Chelsea
same
ticket is
seat in a
expensive.
dead
Chelsea
end,
ticket is
हाँ.
expensive, and Fulham ticket is not
Of
that
course,
expensive.
big games, small games, league games, Champions League games, different
See,
prices for different comps.
United is going to earn like bonkers. They have entered into Champions League, and the Champions League ticket prices are pretty good, pretty good. They're going to earn a lot this season if they go through till the final stages of Champions League.
Now, I believe next year, if we are making the Champions League, a quarterfinal run is a good one.
quarterfinal stages.
Quarterfinals is a good. It is a good run for me.
Yeah, getting knocked by
Because
Sevilla or Atletico is fine. Yeah.
Sevilla is not making the Champions. Oh fuck yeah, they're going to the Europa final. Good Jesus Christ.
They'll be Europa. They'll be champions in Segunda division at the same time.
No, they're safe. They're
Yeah,
safe.
yeah,
They're
of course, of
safe.
course. Yeah.
That is why those donkeys decided to turn up at Europa. Worst. They are like a menace to society, man, as far as
And we
Europa League is
forgot to
concerned.
turn up, na? We forgot to
We,
turn up.
we did not turn up only. I don't know who are they. It was
यार we get हमें पोर्टो बेनिफिका मिल जाए 16 में फिर एसी वेसी मिल जाए 8 में तो suddenly we're
No,
in the
even that
semi-final.
is not a guarantee that we will go through. That is the lovely thing of Champions League and being a Manchester United supporter, that you never know which team is going to knock you out.
Ah,
I don't want to put a dampener on these things, but the last time when we needed 1 point from 2 games was in the Champions League season when we had PSG and Leipzig. We didn't get that 1 point, and we currently find ourselves in the exact same situation where we need 1 point from the last 2 games.
Yeah,
oh,
and we
remember
bullied
that
PSG
Leipzig
in Parc
game?
des Princes.
Do you
Yeah,
remember that Leipzig game, bhai? We were so shit and 3 minutes में we scored almost 3 goals out of
before
nowhere.
that, we could have buried PSG. Anthony
No, no,
Martial
no.
somehow
Anthony Martial.
managed to miss an open goal.
भाई वो बॉल आगे टपक गई थी ज्यादा यार. Come on.
No,
That was
बॉलें तो टपकती रहती हैं. We were not
we
at
were
wall.
we were the
Balls.
better side. We were the better side in that home game until Marquinhos scored.
I
Yeah.
And
I I completely believe that when the opposition have players like Mbappe and Neymar,
Hmm.
there is there are going to be moments that you don't take, like we have saw this season. They're going to create a problem for us. Look at Sevilla.
Hmm.
We're just not keeping the clean sheet in the home game. We were in a situation that over the two ties, it looked like that Sevilla has dominated us.
Yeah.
Whether it was not the case, we were pretty good.
It should have been
how
over in the first 30 minutes, yaar. 180 में से. It should have been gone then and there.
anyways, back to the Premier League. Let's talk about a little bit throughout our season. So, what do you make of the season so far? There have been a lot of highs. There have been a lot of lows. There have been some. There have been some very brilliant performances, and there have been some truly symbolic performances. So, I know there are still 2 games left, and still our Champions League place not secured yet. But what do you make of the season so far? Do you think we could have done better, or do you think we are right on schedule, or do you think we are well ahead of schedule as far as the footballing perspective is concerned? Anyone who wants to take the floor first can.
Yeah, actually, the overall review of the season I will have is I want to just complete it till the game that we got knocked out from Europe, and we somehow managed a win against Brighton in penalties. I don't know how that happened, but for me that was the end part, because final against City, I am not going to predict that anyway. Till that part of the season, we were on 7 on 10. Till that part of the season, we were 7 on 10, and overall, the season has gone pretty much how Eric Ten Hag would have liked, that he wanted players to step up and get into the Champions League qualification. Inside himself, he still wanted to win the Europa because he believed that United were capable of that. But everything kept aside, we have a pretty good 7 this season out of 10.
Even we believed we would win the Europa. how disappointed we were.
I
So
wanted football heritage against Mourinho. I just wanted.
I deep down even I wanted that, but it is what it is. So Abhijit Bhai says United this season have overachieved, and this is a point that Abhijit Bhai has been pretty consistent on throughout the course of the season. So Antariksh, do you concur with what Abhijit Bhai says, or do you believe that a trophy, potentially two, or a top four season to go with it, is something that is what was expected of us?
Abhijit Bhai, love it. Abhijit Bhai is like ekdam on spot for me every damn time. He looks like the kind of fan जो मैं चाहता हूँ पूरी fan base बन जाए. That's just a personal opinion, but man, love it. You know, Delvin Bhai, I had this conversation with you. We have tick green big tick success. This season has been a success. You go choti memory. I mean, you know, people could have other views, but I'm talking about the extremists. You know, who could still, you know, be, oh my God, it's not up to United standards. Arey bhai, standards change with time. Not the ultimate standards, but the short-term standards. Step by step, you'll make the ladder. So, like, remember the season. So we start City, Liverpool, Chelsea, United, Newcastle. I'm forgetting एक दो और team, Spurs,
Spurs.
uh, Arsenal, 8 teams. 8 team hai ye, and these are all top teams. I'm not even considering some failures like West Ham, who also wanted to get into top four. Don't consider aajkal ki position unki, but they were like in the conference. Plus, they signed the likes of Paqueta and ek do aur players, which signaled that they wanted at least a strong Europa finish. So, had they had a season like Brighton, possibly, but these
They
8 teams
still
for sure.
can. They still can make it. They're in the conference final.
Exactly. So wait, 8 plus the likes of Brighton coming in, so like 9. So like 9 teams. This is and 9 में से 4 and 4 में से you before the season you put out 1 and 2 to Liverpool and City. That leaves 2 in 7 teams. That is, you know, you could 3.5 टीमों में से 8 team, which is like, come on, 20% का probability, 25%. That was the math for us to get into top four. And considering how we were, I think we were ekdam last of that ladder of 8, 9 teams, how we started out the game. So don't get me wrong. I believe the squad which is there, the individual players really should be in the Champions League. But the club, the position the whole club was in, I think he's done a tremendous job. He's won a trophy over it. We're in another final. The only cheese going is that Europa League exit. But apart from that, I also mentioned this, Delvin Bhai, ki I was happy ki hum haar rahe hain. We were getting on this run of 1-0, 2-1s, and sneaky little victories. कि हम we were forgetting our reality. Like छोटी कंबल ज़्यादा पाँव हो रहा था हमारा. ये team आ जाए वो. We are in the first season, eighth. This was Arsenal for the first 2 seasons. Eighth, and every manager out there was praising heaps about how Arteta is doing a great job without any results. But then they got it. तो instant success से मुझे तो as a fan बहुत डर लगता है. The only people who do it is Mourinho and Conte, and उनका
Pep
मतलब
also.
1-1.5 साल में हो जाता है. People who do it at least 1-1.5 2 season में, at least मुझे अभी तक लगा है, do it for a longer period of time. That's a very base level psychology, but मेरे को ऐसा लगता है धीरे धीरे principles build होते हैं. It's not about just winning, it's also about the style, and style comes with time. So I'm pretty happy. It's been a big success. We should not forget where we were, and उससे undue pressure ही आता है club पे. Irrespective of what happens with success.
So is it overachieved? Do you think we've overachieved? That's the
I
question.
think
Yes
we
or
have.
no?
Yeah, I think we have. I think we have.
I
As
think
I
we've been.
gave like एक last time, like as I gave कि 7 teams में से 2 spots जाने थे top 4 में at the start of the season, and we have comfortably made one of those. Big.
My opinion is pretty simple. We've exceeded expectations, but we've not overachieved. Because I think we were expected, irrespective of whatever it was. I think a club like United stature, even though a lot of the people did not expect us to make the top four, I think somewhere even we did not expect us to make the top four. But then when it comes to us, I think top four should have been a certainty, which we are on the verge of sealing. Whether it is this game or whether it is Sunday, I think we've more or less made sure that we've got a trophy. We've ended a trophy drought after 6 years. We could potentially add another. This is the type of season that we do expect. Yes, we are still a fair distance away from the Premier League, which is understandable. We should have gone ahead in the Europa League, which is again something that will leave a bitter taste. But then, like you said, we were getting well ahead of ourselves. If not us, at least a certain amount of the fan base were getting ahead of themselves as far as the performances and the results from a results perspective was concerned. But then I remember what Eric Ten Hag had said in his introductory press conference also. We want to win every game, and we want to win by playing. We want to play the way that we want to play. But on the off chance that we do not play with the style that we expected, we still need to get results despite of winning dirty. So from that objective, I think Ten Hag and United have fully delivered on that expectation that we've got results despite of playing bad. Our next step is basically to make sure that, like you said, uh, half chances into tap-ins and that next level as far as taking our chances are concerned. Because throughout the season, we've not had any sort of problem creating chances. Hell, we've created great amount of chances against teams with a low block, which is something that we could not do before Ten Hag. We could not do before Ten Hag. The only reason why we're lacking behind is we've in 38 games, I think we've easily missed around 25 to 26 goals. We've missed one Hurricane. We've missed this Hurricane season.
Yeah.
If we want to take a sample size, Hurricane
I
season
think it
with
must
us.
be much more. I think not 25, it must be much more.
You
Lot
know,
of
there are
chances.
some things which are not tangible. Like, जब ball जाती है, had there been a striker, that would have been a tap in. Like many a times, there is no
N-
one to pick out to,
Nee,
or there is no sort of
e-
intuition कि someone
Overall,
will
the
make it.
season, the games that I've seen, it's definitely closer to 40, 45 very good chances that we have missed.
But
Because
even though 40-45 chances, I don't think we'd score all of them. That is why I took a
हाँ,
smaller number, 25 to 26 goals.
yeah,
So if this Harry Kane was with us, he scored 28 goals. I think we're easily getting 10 more points. I'm
absolutely,
lowballing here. I'm lowballing here.
absolutely,
We are easily getting 10 to 12 points more. We dropped
absolutely.
13 points this season. We've dropped 13 points this season. 13 points. The last 3 seasons, I can literally write and give you how many points we've dropped the last 3 seasons. That's how many points we've dropped. This year 13, last year
You mean from
16.
winning positions?
Overall, in the 1920 season, we dropped 18 points. 18 points. We finished third with 66. We could have ended up with 84. In the 2021 season, we dropped 14 points, which was the gap between us and City in the
No, no,
title.
no. Need 14 points as in
All winning
matlab,
positions, all winning positions,
oh,
all
winning
winning
positions,
positions,
है ना you're
winning
saying?
positions, and
Ah,
including
yeah,
losses
or else
against
we are drawing, or else we are
uh,
drawing and we lose the
against
game.
against teams where we're expected to win, we lose, and again in the games where we were winning and we've lost points from winning positions. We've lost 16, 14, and 16, 14, 12, and this season 13 points. Look, add those. That's close to 56 points in 4 seasons. That's 14 points dropped a season on an average. And all those 4 years, what's been the common thread? We don't have a striker who's available for us throughout the duration of the season.
yeah.
That's a 14-point swing. Add that 14 points here.
I think 5-6 points क्योंकि 7-8 points तो देखो हर टीम करती है almost मतलब सिटी विटी को छोड़ के but 7-8 points you can still say but 6 points you can still say कि on a consistent basis we could have gotten more which
Exactly.
makes a lot of difference.
Precisely. And especially in the last few game weeks, the amount of points that we've dropped, where we should have easily gotten top four, it is coming to bite us. Hopefully, today is the day where we finally end this. Because I think we've had enough of living in under that cloud of uncertainty. Will we? Won't we? Will we? Won't we? I think the last 2 weeks I've been constantly telling Antriksh, I've been constantly telling Abhijit Bhai also that I don't care about the performances as far as those 3 points come in the bag. And
Yeah.
thankfully that has happened. And hopefully it happens this week also. Even today's game, I won't care much about the performance as long as the 3 points or that 1 point comes to us. So at the end of the day, it's just that result. Whether it's a goalless draw, whether it's a 1-1 draw, 2-2 draw, play a 3-3 draw for the culture, man. If you want to draw, draw it in an entertaining manner. Make sure that you end the season with a good,
Yeah,
with a good
Harry Maguire own goal. You draw it like that.
Harry Maguire own goal, and then a Harry Maguire brace, 2 corners, 2 goals. Like automatically that adds 5 million to his price tag. Think about the future, Rojas bhai. Let's if we are, we might as well. So I think we've basically covered everything. I just took a look at the Chelsea lineup. There are a few new faces. Chukwuemeka starts. I think there is a guy called
Yeah.
Hall. There's a guy called Hall who also starts. Uh, Mudrik starts. So they've also chopped and changed a lot. So let's see how that pans out. So I think now that we've completed every single point of discussion that is there, uh, what are your predictions for tonight's game? Ojasbhai, I'll start with you.
Yep, I'm predicting a 3-0 win for United. Just,
I
just a prediction.
I remember you were there for the Brighton. No, I think you were there for the West Ham preview, right?
Yes,
Ojasbhai?
and we lost. We
And you
lost, right?
said, yeah, and you did say 3-0 win. You're, it's not looking good, bruh.
What about the Weghorst brace?
No, that's a bigger criminal offense,
Yeah,
Antriksh.
I
The
will be a
lesser,
millionaire if I bet $100 on that.
I think even the betting agencies must have removed that from their betting slips also, Vegas to score, because even they are pretty sure that this guy's not scoring for shit.
I
One-
swear,
one
if
million
man goes
odds,
to
1 million
Burnley and
odds.
scores over 15 Premier League goals, I will personally visit him.
Who, who?
If Vegas goes back to Burnley and they are already promoted for the season and he scores 15 plus goals for them now,
He's
he
not
is just
gonna. He's not gonna.
Company
He's-
nahi, usse nahi.
He's not gonna, because of the simple fact that Weghorst is not the type of player to thrive in a possession-based style. He's not. We've just got him because we needed someone just to put him up there, and Weghorst
team पूरी
apparently,
करनी थी.
हाँ वही मतलब.
वो Argentina 2 goals and Dutch हूँ मैं, that got him the United kit. That's it.
हाँ, he did his job, man. If only
I
he'd
feel
scored.
a
For
little
sure,
bad.
bhai.
I feel a little bad. for him.
He's been a really great guy. He's done everything he could. He's done everything he could from his side. It's just that the goals couldn't come, man. Like if he'd score even 5 or 6 Premier League goals, it would have been a great season.
Igalo has 20 यार अभी
I
Saudi League
remember
में. सभी अपनी
Falcao
अपनी
having
जगह
this
करते हैं.
kind of season. I remember Falcao having this season.
But
Falcao
that was- But Falcao had just come out of an ACL surgery with us, so
yes, but he is the legend of the game. Like Falcao, I really wanted him to flourish there. But yeah, these type of seasons do happen. I think Fernando Torres for Chelsea also.
but that was not a loan deal. That was not a loan deal. That was a permanent deal.
But these type of things happen. Not comparing Vegas with. I'm sorry, everyone. It's something bad happened from my side, but it's like these type of seasons happen. But really,
हाँ
feel
यार,
bad for
I
him.
think
Feel
I
bad
think
for him.
if he goes back to Besiktas, he'll keep scoring those 10-12 goals a season or maybe 15. As I said, Igalo ने 20 मार दिए अभी Saudi में. तो it's like cool. मतलब yeah, United
He can-
quality नहीं है, सीधा दिखता है. So that's it.
he can still end this season as a United legend if he scores in the FA Cup final. If he does,
AI has a better chance to score a goal in FA Cup final.
please, you could have said De Gea has a better chance of saving a penalty. Please, what is this about De Gea scoring? My guy cannot score a penalty, let alone score a goal. What are you on about?
He delivers a long pass and Edison gets lost somewhere.
No,
and-
but just imagine, man, Bigos scoring the winner. Imagine this plot line.
a bigger love story will be Maguire scoring a header.
Any one of those. I
Nothing
love it.
ये दोनों में से कोई header score
Nothing beats Maguire scoring a winner at Wembley. Nothing beats that.
Bruh, even he, for that one fleeting moment,
And
United
then
fans will treat him like a god.
Yeah, and then he will say that F off, I'm leaving. Just take it in your backside. This FA Cup.
अरे इसको पालकी में उठा के लेके जाएंगे यार if he scores the winner.
अरे
That's
फिर इसके
that.
5 साल बाद पोस्ट आएंगे, faced trouble times in Greece,
No,
was the captain, managed Euros, kept 18 clean sheets, still fought, never complained, a warrior, always a red. 5 साल
And then
बाद.
we'd be it's Man City versus wherever Harry Maguire is playing, and it's United and City in a title race, and then we're like, "Hey Harry Maguire, hope you had a good night's sleep. Here's expecting a big favor from you today."
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. Right,
just
Oh
right.
man, it'll
just
be insane. It'll be insane. Yeah, Antriksh, what are your predictions for this game?
2-0. I'll go
2
with
0.
2-0. I think we'll be decently dominant. I think I would hope कि City, yeah, Chelsea एकदम से खेलना ना सीख जाए. And I don't know यार. I just want Vegas to score one now. Like एक अभी FA Cup final छोड़ो, एक Old Trafford पे एक मार दे यार. So I would say
Stretford and header, huh? Stretford
हाँ
and header.
यार कुछ वैसा है यार. I just loved the way he celebrated यार his first goal भाई. It was just different.
Even better was a celebration in the semi-final. That sprint. That sprint.
हाँ हाँ
If
हाँ.
if he only does that when he's one on one with the keeper, he
Yeah,
will
Wholesome
score
तो
so
होता है
many.
यार. Wholesome तो होता है. Anyone
Fellaini
scores, he
also turned
waits.
into CDM from a striker in Everton. There are a lot of options for Vegas.
No, मैं
Yeah.
वही कह रहा हूँ. It's just wholesome. Anyone scores, especially the likes of Garnacho वगैरह. He waits like this, and then
Garnacho
they
is the
come in when
star
he
kid. He
taps
can
them.
be excused. Garnacho is a star kid. He can be excused somehow. But you really want to get someone in the score sheet like a player like Vegas. He deserves this. He really deserves a goal, a Premier League goal for Manchester United.
वही कह रहा हूँ यार. It'll be just
As
so cute.
far so as far as my prediction is concerned, I think this is going to have a similar pattern. It's going to be a draw. Simple, plain and simple. There is a history to live by, and United and Chelsea will
Football
make sure.
heritage.
Yeah, and United and Chelsea will make sure they'll do everything they can to live to this heritage. Especially this time, I think United wouldn't mind a draw too, because it 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 sends Liverpool to Thursday nights at Kazakhstan. Uh, so
Yeah,
hopefully that
Klopp
should
booking a
be
hotel.
at Azerbaijan in Karabakh. Hopefully. So yeah, for me it's a draw. I don't know whatever draw, but it is going to be a draw for me. So that brings us to the end of the stream. Thank you so much for joining in, Antriksh Bhai, Ojas Bhai. Thank you so much. Before I end the stream, MUSC Red Devil NCR have teamed with Skull Candy for the big screening of the FA Cup final. It's a huge game. Is a huge game for a wide variety of reasons, not because only there's a trophy at line. There is a chance to stop City from doing treble. So we are requesting each and everyone who are in Delhi to come join us and make this screening a memorable one. The screening is going to be at Smash Dwarka, 6:30 p.m. onwards. Entry begins for the kickoff. And that's not all. A few of you lucky folks could stand a chance to win exciting goodies and merchandise from Skull Candy. So you do not want to miss an opportunity to join. It's going to be a magnificent atmosphere. We've held screenings before as well, and each and every time being part of those screenings has been a magnificent experience. It's been an incredible atmosphere, whether we won, whether we've lost. It's been a great outing for each and every one of us. So please go ahead and make sure that you enroll yourselves. Do join us. It's going to be a cracking game, anyways. Once again, 6:30 p.m., 3rd June, Smash Dwarka. Do join us there. We'll see you. And thank you, as always, to each one of you who have been part of the chat. Thank you for letting us know your opinions. Do smash that like button. Do subscribe to our channel. Do also press the bell icon so that you're notified for every video that comes out. Do not forget to follow us on our socials, on Instagram and on Twitter. The link is in the description below. And also, every day is match day on our WhatsApp group. So please join us there as well. With that being said, we have less than 15 minutes for kickoff. Hopefully, it's a good game. Hopefully, it's 3 points. We seal Champions League come tomorrow morning. And up until then, this is Delvin along with Antariksh and Ojas wishing all of you a good night. Do take care of yourself. Stay healthy. Stay safe. Till then, it's GG and you to all.